Hey there. Now, a few videos ago in the Minecraft series, I think it was, I did a really neat trick where I zoomed into the screen that I was editing, showing how to do something, and it looked a bit like this. So now I'm going to show you how to do the same thing. The effect that I'm talking about is being able to take this screen here and zoom it out so it fills this whole screen here. Basically overlaying this one with a copy of itself. So overlaying the screen in the background here with a copy of that actual picture, and then morphing it through as it distorts out and fills up this whole screen. Thankfully, that's a relatively easy thing to do. So let's go and do it. Okay, well the first thing we want to do is find out where it is that we want to start this from. Now, I've already had a quick listen to this, and it looked a bit like this. That's where I want to start it, is just in here, so that we can have this screen zooming out, and it'll just naturally fill in and flow as we come through, and then this camera here, I'll then add in over the top of it as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm using an app here called ScreenFlick. Now what ScreenFlick's doing is, while I'm recording on the RX100 here, I'm also recording on the Logitech webcam here, and I'm recording my full screen over here. Now the great thing about ScreenFlick is it does the Logitech camera and the full screen here all at the same time. So what I'm going to do first is take those two camera streams. There's the first one here, that's the actual screen capture, and then the webcam footage, and I'll put that directly on top of it. Now these two I know are already synced because the screen cam software works beautifully like that. There's a link to ScreenFlick, by the way, in the description below in case you're keen on it and want to have a look yourself. Now I know that I can come and have a look here. There's a bit on the sound that match, a bit of profile on the sound here. I can see a visual pattern that matches up over here. So that's this one here matching this one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a cut using my blade tool. This is the same blade tool you find in any editing software. I'm using Final Cut Pro, by the way. Whatever you're using, it'll have very similar tools to this, so you'll be able to pick it up and do the same thing. I'm going to trim that away, and then I'm just going to select those two video streams, and I'm going to pull that back so that they're roughly lined up with what I've got down here. So I'll just set my bar to there, and then I'll just pull those back so that I've got them roughly lined up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zoom in a few times and see how close it is. I can use that leading edge there. Now as you can see here, it's only half a frame out, so that's good enough for doing this particular shot. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is detach the audio from the video on that first stream. Now the reason for this is that I'm not going to be wanting this video stream all the time, but I am going to be wanting the audio from it because that's the audio off my good microphone here. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just right click that and detach audio. I'm going to select that timeline there, and I'm just going to hide it. I don't want to delete that one because I might want to use some of that later, and at the moment I know it's in sync with that video, so I'm just going to keep it there, keep it hidden, and I can trim it away as I need it later. Okay, I'm going to come back now to my main timeline. I'm just going to zoom in so I know that it was around about here. I can see in the audio bar that it was about here that I wanted to start my zoom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the screenshot, the screen capture timeline I've got here, and I'm going to come and set a keyframe right here on all of those. So that's where I want that one to be keyframed to there. Now I'm going to have another keyframe set up over here, for when it's going to be fully zoomed, so not too far in the future from it. And I'm just going to set up a keyframe for those as well. Now it's the second keyframe that's going to be the one that will be the full screen size. So the first keyframe I'll just skip back to by clicking any one of these. I need to distort this down so that it fits into the screen space on the lower image. So here we go. I've got that selected, and I'm just going to go and choose the distort tool here. Now once again, this tool will exist in any other piece of software that you're using in one form or another, hopefully. So once you've selected that, you can just bring each corner up individually, and from the side I'm going to bring them inside the area that I want to zoom it in from. So there we go, grab that one, that one, that one there. Now in this case it's actually going to be off the screen there a bit as well, and that one there I'll bring down, okay, and that's going to be a bit across as well. So there we go, and I've gone and got another notification up on that. Normally you turn off all these notifications, and I usually remember to, but this time I didn't. So I'm just going to bring those corners in here into where they are, so I can line the screen edges up nicely. I'm going to also just reduce the size here a little bit so that I can move around these points out here. So that's roughly where my monitor's at there. There we go. That's pretty much it there. So now I've got that beginning keyframe, and I've edited those to that. As that comes through now to the final keyframe, I can just scan through it. You can see that that now comes out to the full screen. Now there's the trick of blending it through. So right at the beginning there, at that first keyframe, I've got the ending keyframe there. I'm going to come up and set the opacity. There we go. And at 100% down, that's at the first keyframe. I'm going to come to the last keyframe. I'm going to make sure that that's set to 100% there as well, so just adding another keyframe. And then somewhere back in the middle here, I'm going to want to change that so it fades in a little bit. So I've just come in a few frames from when it starts, and I'm going to set the opacity there. So this is the third keyframe. So I've got one keyframe starting here, another one in about here, and another one here. So that'll stay 100% all the way through. And I'm going to come back to that first keyframe, and I'm going to set that at 0% opacity. So as you can see, the colouring changes. I've got that little bit of a reflection and stuff on there. But now when I play this through, so now I'm going to show you. That brings that through, and it just slowly starts rotating it around and fades it through. So it fades in off the first screen in through to the screen capture, and there we go, and we're away. So anyway, that's all I've got for that one there at the moment. Obviously that's just a static, and then it carries on with all of this. So I hope that's been useful for you. If this is good, put a link below to your video so that I can go and have a look and see how you have implemented this, or if you've done it slightly differently. I'm also keen to see how you do it in different software as well. I might do something similar for Resolve later on, and maybe iMovie as well. So leave a like if you like this. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll be doing more of these things. Click that share button, click the notification bell, all of those cool things. Go have fun playing around with whatever editor you're using, and have a good one. See you later.